So, hey, I would like to welcome everybody to Game Day Births Not Balls. My name is Micah Burgess. I am a birth doula in Waco, Texas. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for listening. Okay, I'm going to do, I don't want to say I'm going to do another little mini series. You know, I do What a Doula Knows. And this one is more about being a doula, essentially. And I know there's some listeners that are up-and-coming doulas, aspiring doulas, that have questions about what does this look like? Or even if you are an expecting parent and you would like to know a little bit more about doulas, not just what our services are and what we do in the birthing room, but a little bit more about what a doula life looks like. So I'm going to jump in and I'm going to start there with first things first, how I got started as a birth doula. I'm going to take it all the way back to when I was 19, I think, and my sister was pregnant with her first. Benjamin is my nephew. He is 31 or 2, something like that. And I got to attend my sister's birth. Her name is Maranatha. And she had a home birth. And they lived in an apartment, so it was small. Of course, she had a midwife. The midwife had a couple of apprentices that came with her. I have another sister, Amelia, and she was also at the birth. And so it was crowded. There was a lot of people. And when I think back to that experience with her, a couple things jump out, a couple things I remember. Well, first of all, I don't remember how long she was in labor. I don't remember anything the midwife said. I don't remember if she did well or not, if she wanted, I don't know. I don't remember that. What I remember is this feeling that birth was very normal. And I liked that. I thought that was cool. You know, there's these women there, the midwife, her apprentices, my sister and I, a couple of other friends were there. And, you know, we're just kind of hanging out all over the apartment. I mean, there's this big, huge, giant blow-up mattress that was in the middle of their living room because they actually had a water bed. So that would be very, very difficult to give birth in a water bed. That'd be funny, though. I'd like to see that, but very hard. So this big, huge blow-up mattress is taking up all this space in the living room. So that kind of added to, you know, the feeling and the fun. And so anyway, I mean, we're talking and lounging and eating and drinking, and they're prepping my sister and encouraging her. And anyway, on and on and on, all this stuff. And so I do remember that part of it. And then the other thing that I remember is my sister and I, Amelia and I, were in the bathroom with my sister Maranatha, she's in the tub, and there's candles lit in the bathroom. And so it's got this really great feel, this really great atmosphere, very peaceful. And we're just kind of talking as she's, you know, laboring or whatever. And Amelia's younger than me. So she and I, we don't know anything. We're just there supporting our sister. And anyway, so Maranatha is starting to have a contraction and she's making this face and she's struggling and she's kind of squirming and wiggling in the bath. And I'm like, wow, this one must be a really hard one, a really big one, because I haven't seen her do all that. Like, she's seriously like gyrating. It's like she's trying to get up out of the tub, trying to get away from it or something. I mean, like, I don't know what's going on. And so I was like, everything's okay. You know, hey, just take a deep breath and breathe in through your nose. Like I said, I don't know anything. That's what they say in the movies. Breathe, breathe. So that's what I was saying. And finally, in this contraction, she starts pointing to my other sister, Amelia. And she's like, your shorts are on fire. And we're like, what? We looked down. One of the candles that was sitting on the tub had caught fire, had caught my sister's shorts on fire. Her shorts are on fire. And so we immediately start scooping water out of the tub, drowning her with water, and the floor is soaked. And then we just are dying laughing. All three of us are just cackling at how funny it was. And so obviously that moment sticks out to me as well. And I think it set me up pretty well, honestly, for the kind of birth experiences that I wanted for myself personally. I think it set me up in terms of my doula career. Now, I had no idea that I would be a doula back then. No clue whatsoever. Didn't even know what a doula was. But I think because it was such a positive experience, I was like, yeah, I know what this can look like. I know that this can be good. And then that birth, my nephew's birth, is very significant to me personally in another way, because I had gone off to college and I was struggling. I was not doing well. And I pretty much abandoned family and God. And I was just on a really rough path. And me coming back home was my attempt to get my life back in order. And so when Benjamin was born, in a lot of respects, it was like my rebirth. If I was going to be honest, for me, it's a very spiritual thing too. So my first encounter of birth, the very first birth I intended, has been extremely significant for me. So that's the first birth I attended. And then then it was my turn. I got pregnant and it was my turn to have babies. And, I remembered this birth experience and wanted to go for the same thing. So had a home birth and my husband was all about it. So excited, biology major, and was ready to go. And it was a great experience. It was hard. Actually, my husband and I, he's on a podcast episode with me. What's the name of that podcast episode? It's Personal. I think that's the name of it. It's Personal. And actually my husband's with me and we're talking about our different birth experiences. If you want to go back and hear more details, it's kind of fun. But this birth experience was great. From start to finish, it was about 5 hours. And I just knew what I needed to do. Somehow I just knew that I needed to relax. I knew that I needed to breathe. I knew that if I got stressed and upset and my panties in a wad, that I was not going to recover. Like MIA, not going to return emotionally and mentally, right? And so I just stayed the course, stayed focused, and relaxed. And so it was a great experience. And then had 4 more just like that. And they were great. After my third, maybe my fourth, somewhere around in there, the midwife that delivered my third, fourth, and fifth babies, Tony Kemple, Jubilee Birth Center in the Bryan College Station area, Brenham, actually, delivered those babies and then asked me to become a midwife assistant and to train with her. And so I was like, okay, yes, I want to do this. I love birth. I think birth is great. And I think I can help some people. And so I did that for a couple of years, but did realize very quickly I didn't want to be a midwife. And so I shifted and I still did all of the midwife assistant type things, temperature, blood pressure, exams, shots, all that. But what I was really drawn to was supporting the mom during labor. Then that started to shift, and people started to know what my role was with Tony. And then I had people that wanted to hire me to be their doula, essentially. And some of those were at home. Some of them were at the hospital. I had friends and family members that were like, hey, will you come to my birth and coach me and kind of help me do what you're doing? And I was like, yeah. And so it was really great. That experience was for me because I got trained in just birth in general. Like, what can this look like without this feeling and this pressure of, I'm trying to do something to check this list off so that I can become a certified doula. It was way more relaxed than that. It was, I'm attending births because I want to attend births and I love it and I'm good at it. And so I just kept doing it. And I was doing it not because I thought I was going to end up with a doula career. Again, I was doing it because I loved it and I was helping people, and I like helping people. I do. I get a charge out of it. And so it was filling my cup, believe it or not. And so anyway, that's kind of how it all got started. And then finally I was at a place in my life where my children are old enough and I could start considering a doula career. And I knew that I did want to go ahead and get certified and go through that process. Most doulas are certified, and they go through a certification or training or something like that. Or just the apprenticeship type scenario, like what I did with the midwife that I worked for. But yeah, you need some kind of, as a doula, you need some kind of experience. You need something that gives you lots of great information, yes, but then also, what does a mama need in labor, right? So some kind of certification or training or apprenticeship is what I think works best. And so I was looking into the different organizations, and then finally landed on one and just started to go for it. I needed to attend some births. I needed to write some papers. I needed to attend some classes in order to get certified. So I did get certified. And in the process of being certified, well, first of all, by the time I got to like the workshop for this particular certification, I'd already been to probably 30 or 40 births, which is pretty unheard of. I realized way later. I didn't know that, but it is. Most doulas don't really have any experience to speak of before they go through that certification process. And so that is another really positive thing that set me up to be, I don't know, the kind of doula that I am today. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful for all of those experiences. So got certified, moved back to the Waco area. I was a backup doula for someone. I was in the right place at the right time. And so it just kind of blossomed from there. I mean, people started talking about me. The midwives here in Waco knew who I was and started recommending me. And so my journey in becoming a doula was very organic, very natural, very just part of my life and what I loved, and not this set goal and decision of this is what I want to do and now I'm going after it. I had been able to experience birth for myself and helping friends and family and others to really know, oh yeah, I do love this. Yeah, I am good at this. This is what I want to do before I actually decided to get certified. So that's kind of how I got started. And I'm very thankful for the journey. And, if you're listening and you are a new doula or thinking about becoming a doula, my suggestion, my recommendation is going to be that you, get either certified or get some kind of training so that you feel confident. Honestly, that's the big deal, because I hear from new doulas all the time that, yeah, I did this and I did that and I, got this great information, but I still don't know where to start. I still don't know what to do. I still don't know how to gain clients. I'm still not sure if I can help someone. And so I think my point is that you really need to have some experience in some way or another. And that is for your benefit, so that you don't feel like at the very first birth you attend, you're being thrown into the deep end of the ocean and trying to figure out how to swim, that you've been in some shallow water, so to speak, a safety net where you could just stand right back up if there was a problem or a mistake or something you didn't understand, because you're with another seasoned doula or with a midwife, or it is for a friend or a family member that you're just trying to gain experience, right? And so I feel like there's a big difference between the two of gaining experience, attending births to gain experience, or offering your birth services for free. I think there's a big difference there. I don't think that's what you want to do, is offer your services for free. But I do think you want to attend births, and you get to pick and decide who those births are, what that looks like for you as part of your continuing education and getting better at what you do. Does that make sense? So that's my encouragement. That's my suggestion. There'll be more of these, kind of a life and a day in the life of a doula, if you will, and what that looks like. And so I'm excited about this new series. Hey, thanks for joining me on Game Day Birds Not Balls. You can follow me on my Instagram page at My Doula Micah. You can also find me on wacodoula.com. Waco Doula is on Facebook. And if you like what you heard, you can subscribe or you can find us on roguemedianetwork.com. Thanks for joining us.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.